Good morning, lovelies. This is my story about how I met the great, the late, Honorable Sir Lynden Oscar Penland, the longest Prime Minister, the first ever Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Whoa, I was 14 years old, waking going to penny saving. I was tall for 14. I was young, but I was tall. I was already over 5 foot eight, I believe. At 14, I was already must be about 5 foot something. I was tall, taller than everybody. That's how I look at it. And I used to go to penny saving bank in the evening to do community service work for the Grandstown constituency. Now, back then, the Honorable Shadrach Morris was the Member of Parliament for the Grandstown constituency. And I had entered in the, at 14, I became the third runner up in Miss Grandstown before I re entered back at 15 and I became the winner. Well, the reason I entered because the people who were to the thing, they were angry because they said I did better than everybody else. I was more talented, more everything more than anybody else, and they were mad, saying it's a political thing. Why didn't give it to you? They think because you in a two-room wooden house, you don't deserve to get something if you earned it. And they were angry and they made their voices heard. I didn't even know I had that much support at such a young age, but I did. I did. I had a lot of the music makers drunken group. They still were happy, but they was pissed. All them was there. Mind you, the reason why the music makers drunken group was there, this when they were in Fallow Street before they joined, years before they joined Saxon, was based on the fact that my cousin, a few of them were one of the, like, they were the ones who helped started the music makers drunken group, used to be in it full time, help supporting it financially, and every time when they need to be on that Bay Street, they were there for everything. So that's the reason why they were there too. And not only that, most everyone know me. I grew up in the ghetto, but I was very well known because I was very much involved in all of the community service. I used to go host to house to old people saying who need food, clothing, and whatever. And I will make a list of those names. And back then, the Red Cross, I think they still does it. But back then, the Red Cross, Shark Morris would give those names to between social services and the Red Cross. And back then, because they were so elderly and didn't have ride and couldn't get where they need to go, social services people used to come to them and they used to get a little check what they could carry to the bank and get money. Not even like how they used to do the food slip now, where you have to only get food slip. They used to literally get a little check back then that they could carry to the bank. And then the Red Cross used to come for 3 days of the week to bring hot soup. Most of the time it's hot soup. You know, old people like soup more than the rice and the this and the that. So they used to come 3 times a day to bring hot soup for them and thing. So it was important work I was doing because you remember now, back then a lot of people were still unemployed. A lot of people were still unemployed. People mightn't like what I said now, saying now, but a lot of it was still a very prejudiced society back then, and the colored folks could not hardly get any good job, only to be a porter if you could get that in the hotel, a waiter in the hotel and gardeners and maids mostly. If you're in the one of them big bank, you only could have get maybe a tea lady. Still back then. Still back then. Well, I met Sir Lynden on one of my days. I used to go 5 days a week to sell penny saving bank upstairs to Shard Morris to see. I was his foot. I was his feet in the neighborhood. I was his eyes and ears. Meaning, I used to take a book, go to everybody's house, see what their grievances is, and write it down. I was young. I had energy of this world. So like people, I can't even walk from here because I owe the shape. I need to go get in shape now. I walk Zion down, and don't be tired. And don't be tired. That's why young people with energy need to do a lot of things when they're young. They can't just fall. They got to be involved. Because when you get older, you can't do like you're supposed to, but at least you did. And so when people, oh, you don't need to be involved in none of these other things when you get older because you didn't do so much. If you can't do no more, or your time now to dedicate to your future, um, you in yourself will be proud. So because you then did what you needed to do. So that's why the young people need to get involved. Well, I met Sir Lynden one evening upstairs. The doorman, he was the security and the doorman to Penny Saving Bank. He had bald, shiny hair. I never asked him his name because I give him a name. I used to call him Balty Salty Milo Tea. Hey, Balty Salty Milo Tea. And anytime I say, where Balty is. He was the driver also for Sharrock Morris. So Balty have a strong waist when he need to. He don't play. Nice looking, dark, well dressed man. Very well clean all the time, immaculately dressed to the nines, you call it. That's how a man's supposed to dress. Always in a nice coat suit, clean, smelling nice, and they the things that I remember of Balti, and a man who did his job with excellence, with excellence, you know. And I was upstairs, I hear Balti bellowed, Sir Lynden is coming. Now that's long before Sir Lynden even must he come with the car. He used to do that. So you can know whatever you're doing, prepare yourself to receive Sir Lynden. And he said, Sir Lynden is coming. When I heard that, I was in the upstairs corridor doing some work. It's like a walkway, but they had a little table with some work on it. I grab all those work off the table, grab them all up, run in the conference room, put them on the table, come back and grab up the rest, run in the conference room. Oh, the little table, I lift that little table like Samson and run with that. And get that to that conference room door, put that in there, put those things back on the table. And I shut the conference room door easy because I don't want nobody to hear me slamming it. But Charles Morris to me running and he had the hysterics laughing because he came out because he hear Sir Lynden coming. So he always come out his office. Once he hears Sir Lynden is coming, he comes out of his office and he starts to go downstairs towards the front door. He always meets Sir Lynden to the front door of Penny Saving Bank. But I run and hide. So, and I shut the door. You couldn't hear a peep out of me. I hear when Sir Lynden talking with him and they walking, going to his office. And you can't hear a peep out of me. And Sharrock Morris telling Sir Lynden, oh, I have Moselle, the little young lady in there. She's doing some filing for me. I'm putting papers in order for me. And he telling him that, and I quiet. I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't come out. And he gone in Sharon Moore's office. Boy, stay quiet. quiet, 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 because Sir Lynden is there. I wouldn't even let the paper ruffle because Sir Lynden was there. And when I was sitting down filing, Sharon Morris came, knocked once on the door, and opened the door. And when I saw Sir Lynden, I almost faint. I almost faint. Little old me from a two-room wooden house meeting the great Sir Lynden Oscar Penland, a prime minister, a man who made history in so many ways for the Bahamas at that time. I ain't talking for years later. I talking about even at that time. You know how powerful that was? I was so scared. My knees was buckling. Only thing I could do was smile and curtsy. Oh, child. I had that curtsy down to the bum. Nobody had the curtsy like me. Hello. All I could do was smile and curtsy and say, "Good day, sir." And and child, I was looking on the ground, and he said, look me in my eyes. And I look him in my eyes. My eyes was big and wide, and like a deer in headlights. And boy, him and Sharon Morris burst out laughing because they understood with my young self how frightening it might be to meet somebody so great. You know, a person we have to learn in school. So great. That was a powerful. I talking now, and I have goosebumps on all of my arms, like a chill running through me. That's a powerful, powerful moment. Because see, children today don't understand that your leaders, you never disrespect like how I see they be doing now. That is a no-no. They are the ones who carry this country, and you never disrespect them. One day you can read for them in the history book if you're old enough, and you'll realize how wrong you was. Don't follow the masses. Don't follow what others doing. It ain't cute. No one had to teach me to curtsy to a leader. No one had to teach me that. Your human spirit of knowing right from wrong supposed to teach you that. You know what I'm saying? That is a moment in time. You call that. You know how many countries in the world and the citizens have never had a one-on-one opportunity to meet, be introduced, and speak to the leader of their country? You know how powerful that is? You know how powerful that is? That very seldom happens. And to know that our leaders are within reach, right even up to this day, they are in reach. And we need to, regardless of our political, you heard me, regardless of our political persuasion, we need to come to terms with one thing. We need to always respect our leaders, okay? Regardless of our political persuasion, okay? Stop being lead like a mindless dummy. You heard me. I don't stutter. I repeat, stop being lead like a mindless dummy. You know what is a mindless dummy? A person who cannot think for themselves, who letting people think for them and and persuading them to do things what they would not normally done had they think for themselves. Okay? So you're allowing people to to use whatever their beliefs is to put on you so you can follow them. That means you're weak minded. You're weak minded. We are not a nation of disrespect. We are not a nation of fighting. All this, where does it come from? Where does it come from? You need to research the background. A lot of these people you're not following. See who they related to, where their blood ties come from. And you'll see why you was a fool. Plenty of you. Okay? But that was a powerful moment. Yes. When I met Sir Lynden one on one for the first time.